Hey, what's up, YouTube? Got something interesting for y'all today, especially for the sharpeners. I was on temu and I had a $20 credit. Otherwise, I definitely wouldn't be buying from them. But I had a $20, zero spend credit, so I could spend no money and buy a $20 item for free. So I used it, and I got this Rieci, Rieci. Oh yeah, Rieci. 200 grit stone. And, I was expecting it to be your typical China type diamond plates that are interrupted. They'll either be triangles or they'll be octagons or they'll have lines through it. I expected it to be one of them. I didn't expect it to be a non interrupted plate, but shockingly, it is. Um, I've actually run one knife over it just to, mess with it. I haven't actually sharpened with it, except for that one piece. And I was really impressed. Very fast cutting stone. And I looked at it under the microscope. Was very shocked at, when I looked at the scratch pattern of the knife, it looked perfect. Looked like if you're familiar with extra coarse DMT, that's about where it's at as far as scratch pattern. Quite aggressive. Let's see how good I can. This is just a. It's not going to really show the how aggressive that edge is. Anyhow, sorry, my hands are dirty. I was working on the car. But very aggressive and cuts like crazy. Very, very little. I mean, there was a little, but there always is with diamond plates. There was, there was a quick break-in period. There was some, diamonds that wasn't super tightly bonded. So, they broke off, come off quick. And just to, break anything off that I missed with that quick sharpening, I just took a what are they called? A rust eraser. Rubber with some abrasive in it. Rubber with like aluminum oxide in it. And went over it to knock any of that diamond off. So stone's nice and broken in. Feels really good. Where this stone really, really, really impressed me, y'all are fixing to see. For a $17 stone, I was genuinely impressed. For a $50 stone, I would have been impressed. Like, I genuinely would have been impressed if this was a $50 stone. It's really good. It is actually real. This is a true value. Now, I would rather buy USA made abrasives if I can. Sadly, you don't have a lot of options. But considering this was $17 shipped, this is impressive. Oh, too high. To go up some. It's a very, very well done diamond plate. Actually, let me get that zoom in some. Can't really see what we want to see right there. There we go. Very, very well coated stone. As you can see, there's no breakout. You don't see lots of missing diamond, even though it's a, it's just reprofiled one knife. So, you wouldn't see a lot of breakout anyhow, but the diamonds are bond. You can tell by the way the diamonds are in the nickel. They're bond. It's very, very well bonded stone. All nice, sharp, aggressive diamonds that cut like crazy. And in a very aggressive stone, you don't see no giant great contamination. All the diamonds are looking good. They're all relatively close to the same size. It doesn't really matter that much in a stone like this anyways, unless you got a giant chunk that makes a massive gouge in your edge that you're gonna have to fight to get out. But there's really no grit contamination. These are so good that I went back and bought the 400 and the 800. If the 400 and 800 are done as well as this stone for 60 bucks, like what, $53, I think, for all three stones. Actually, only 30 something for me because this one was basically free. Yeah, this was an absolute bargain. This is a very high concentrate. There's no bare spots in this stone. This is a lot of diamond on this dude. And that is going to contribute to very, very fast cutting. Yeah, this is a very well done stone. These are an absolute bargain at under 20 bucks shipped. Yeah, the more I look at this thing, the more impressed I am. Like, on the cheaper diamond plates, typically they don't have all that much diamond on them. The coverage isn't that good. On this, basically all the silver is binding your nickel electroplating, but all the black or the dark color, that's all diamond. I'm very, very, very impressed with this stone. Like I said, enough that I had to go back and buy the 400 and 800 because it's just too good of a deal not to. Like, this is going to be a really nice cutting stone that you're going to be able to do serious reprofile work quickly, but doesn't leave as deep as scratches as like an Atoma 140. So, with an Atoma 140, because of the structure of the stone, the way it's those mount like little clusters, you're definitely going to get much deeper scratches with that stone. But the concentration of diamond is less because you have all the area in between those clusters there's nothing there. Well, with this, yes, the diamonds are not as proud. You're not going to get those super super deep scratches like you will with the Atoma 140, but this stone will cut faster, specifically because of how much diamond there is. There's way, way, way more diamond in this stone than in that Atoma 140. So as you're moving the knife is coming, that apex is coming in contact with far more diamond on this stone than it would the Atoma 140. So you have a stone that cuts as fast, maybe even a little bit faster than the Atoma 140, but doesn't put those crazy deep gouge like scratches in your edge bevel. I don't know how many of these they got. I'm not making any money on this. Really could care less. I'm just trying to help you guys find a damn good deal. Before they sell out, if you can get these, because they were on, it said a flash sale, so, you know, I don't know when they're going to go back up in price or whatever, who knows. Point is, if you can get this stone for 17 and some change shipped, you absolutely, you absolutely should buy that 200. Yeah, I can't speak on the 400 or 800 yet. I don't have them in hand. I can speak very highly of this 200. So, if you need a reprofiling stone, you're missing out on a really good bargain by passing this up for $17 shipped. And hell, I was expecting like a couple. You know, it's coming from China, so I'm expecting like a long time for shipping. I had it in 5 days. Literally 5 days to my door. You know, will I still shop at Temu? No, that's probably the last things I'll ever buy from them. You know, I really don't want to support a company like that, but at the same time, when the deal's this good, you really can't, you know, it's just foolish to say, it's foolish to pass it up. This is a good product. The quality is excellent. I've never heard of this brand before, but they make a damn good stone. Yeah, you know, I would take this stone. You put a DMT extra coarse or this stone next to me, and I would take either or and be completely happy. Yeah, this is an impressive stone. If you guys want to see me do a quick reprofile with it, hell, I ought to do it now. I'm gonna pause the video and let me find a knife to do a quick reprofiling on, and we'll do a sharpening with this stone. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So we're gonna just do a reprofile on this 9CR Vosti kitchen knife. Couple drops of water. A couple drops of Dawn, an ammonia glass cleaner. Literally the best. If you're gonna use a lubricant on your diamond plates, best thing. Absolutely increases the life of the stone. No doubt about it. You know, the main thing is make sure you dry your stones properly. You don't want these things, you know, that liquid can get in the crevices of that nickel and up underneath it, and next thing you know, you get corrosion. What I do when I'm finished, I take a heat gun, go over the stone, dry it. As soon as the stone starts getting warm, I know that it's fully dried, and you're good to go. I've never once had one of these. I've never once had a diamond plate get corrosion on it by using that method. Don't get them scalding hot. You know, just you'll see the water go away, or you'll see the fluid go away once you feel the stone starting to get a little warm. And I don't mean hot, I mean literally a little warm. Then you're good to go. Put the stone up, it'll be fully dry. You'll never have to worry about corrosion. I don't mind using diamond plates dry. However, I really don't, you know, I'm not using a respirator. I sharpen a lot. And, you know, especially on the higher grit stuff, if you're sharpening dry, you're absolutely getting metallic particles in the air. You know, you are. I don't want to be breathing that stuff in. This eliminates that problem. So, has a lot of edges on it. This thing's starting to get thick behind the edge. you know, it's not gonna get thin. That's hardened steel up here. This is, I don't, it says it's 3 layers, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So, you know, it'd just be like thinning a 9CR knife, and it's just not worth it. It's a pretty good knife, though. I'll give it that. Edge retention, not very good, but, not terrible. I need room. Okay, you guys can see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. That's something my dad used to say. God, I'm getting old. Alrighty. We're going to do this probably at about 15, 16 degrees. Let's do it. Very, very aggressive stone. This thing will remove some steel in a hurry, buddy. Got a nice butt. There's your scratch pattern. Okay. Looking good. Damn, this stone cuts fast. To be honest, I almost wish I would have bought another one of these 200s. Definitely got a bit. And missing a little bit of the spine. I mean at the heel. This knife was ground funky at the heel of the blade from the factory. There we go. Now we got a full burn. Okay. I'm going to finish it on this stone. We're just going to have a super aggressive edge. Okay. We'll get under the microscope here in a second. tell you what, kids in games nowadays is crazy. Boy, when I was little, if I would have yelled out like that playing games, my parents would have beat my ass. We was living different times. My kids is good kids, they really are. You know, I'm very proud of my children, but I'll tell you, they've never had a spanking in their lives. And, you know, us older folk, we definitely had our fair share of ass whoopings. Look at that pretty super aggressive scratch pattern. Look how consistent it is. No grit contamination, baby. These are damn good stones. I think I'm going to go back and order me another 200 just to have a second one. The stone's too good to pass up for 17 more bucks to have me another one of these 200s. Yeah, got to do it. Gots to do it. And then temu will not get no more of my money, but that stone's too good to pass up for that money. Considering, you know, I use these stones a lot. A lot. Okay. Let's look at this baby. I might be zoomed in a little bit too much. Actually, that's about perfect. Here's your scratch pattern. See, no deep gouges. Pretty consistent. Lots of little burr fibers still on, but you know, that's straight off a 200 stone without even touching a strop. I expect it to still have some burr. But overall, as you can see, you know, it's a super aggressive 200 grit stone and deburred for the most part. There's still, you know, some little fragments, but for the most part, clean. Chip right there. Chips like that I don't bother with. I get them out over, you know, multiple sharpenings. It's pointless to waste that much steel just to get a little nick out. Damn. And you know, on this magnifier, those look like big, but they're teeny. Man, that's a nice, consistent, that is a good stone. That is a good stone. I'm impressed. I am. Those Chinese, cheap China made diamond plates are usually not very good. The only one I've ever had that's decent is the DMD ones. These right here. You know, the 150, 400. And yes, you're going to have grit contamination on the 400 side. But I really don't care because I'm using it as a very, very coarse stone to start with. The only problem is they don't last very long. The diamonds are not... The electroplating, it's okay. They last decently, but not great. You know, you will wear them out reasonably quickly. Especially if you sharpen as much as I do. But they're cheap and they will hog off material quick. I would never suggest anybody buy any of the finer grits of them because I know there's lots of grit contamination. But if you get like the 150, 400, basically just look at it as you're getting two 400 or two 100 grit or 150 grit stones. The 400 is finer, but there's a lot of grit contamination on it. So just look at it as two 150 grit stones that will really cut steel quickly, reprofile very quickly, and you know you got two sides to wear out. That's what I expect when with China made stones. This stone right here, yeah, I'm impressed. Those Sharpal stones, that stone right there is done every bit as good as those Sharpal stones. I'm really genuinely impressed with that stone. Let's strap on some 5 micron. You don't want to make many passes. We're going to have a nice, super aggressive edge. Okay. That's just some 5 micron diamond emulsion on leather. Looking good. And that is going to be a shredding boy. Ooh. Push cut. Yeah. Not great. It's a little, almost too coarse to push cut, but remember, guys, this is why it's so important to not, you know, if you're not sharp off your first stone, going up in grit don't do you any good. If you can't get it razor sharp off stone, you know, your coarse stone, then you're not going to get it razor sharp off your fine stone. Your knife should be absolutely razor sharp off of the, you know, your coarsest stone. I wish I had a tomato. That would be a, actually I might, hold on, check a little. No, I didn't think so, just that's not. Sometimes old lady puts sandwich meat and sandwich stuff out here in that spare refrigerator. Anyways, yeah, that's, you know, that's absolutely razor sharp. Yeah, if I was you, if I needed a nice aggressive reprofiling stone, I would buy one of these right now before they don't have any more. That is a good stone at a damn good price. I'm gonna go buy another one right now. Actually, can't beat that for 17. I think it was 17.55 shipped. You know, so hell, I still got $2 and some change left out of that $20 credit they give me. Oh no, never mind. That was been used up on the other order. But still, I'm gonna wind up for two 200s, a 400, and an 800. I'm gonna wind up paying something like around $45 in total. $48, 45, something like that. Yep. Get you one. They're called Rieci. Rieci monocrystalline diamond 200. Cool looking box, I'll give them that. They're not lying about the coverage, because that that is one very diamond encrusted stone. The literature, now I only seen that they had, I believe, the 2, 4, 8, and a 1200. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 350, not a 400. That's right. I didn't see the 600 on there. And I could have swore I seen a 1200. I didn't see a 2000. Okay, so it's 200, 356, 8, and 2000. Great stones. Absolutely worth the money. Go get you one. All right, guys.